Vinod sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me start the things. Hello everyone. Wish you a very good morning. I, Dr. Kalpesh Popat, welcome you all for today's webinar on basics of image processing and its applications. Organized by Faculty of Computer Applications, Marwadi University, Rajkot. Today's speaker, Professor Vinod Kumar Pal, is pursuing his doctorate from Marwadi University and having more than 10 years of experience in the education field. He is currently working as assistant professor at Faculty of Computer Applications, Marwadi University. His areas of interest are database management systems, operating systems, AI, and image processing. This webinar will cover Introduction to Image Processing and its real-world applications. We'll also provide you with an email where you can download your e-certificate. We'll send you this e-certificate link within 5 working days. In case you have any doubts during the session, kindly write your query in the chat box at the end of the session. Thank you all. Over to Professor Vinod Pal.
Yeah. Am I audible, sir? My screen is visible?
Yes, sir. You are audible and your screen is also visible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, Dr. Kalpesh, sir, for the lovely introduction. Uh, Once again, I warm welcome to all the participants, those who have joined for today's webinar on image introduction to image processing and its application. So, dear participants, this will be our today's agenda. So first, I will talk about in 10-15 minutes about this. What do you mean by image, and what do you mean by image processing? And the second thing that I'm going to be cover it, the demo that I'm going to be do or hands-on on basic operations on the images that we are supposed to do. And in the third section, we are supposed to be talk about the real life applications related to the image processing. Okay, so if I can say like image or image processing is an area which is very well known area, and I can say everybody has a knowledge about the image, right? Because if you can see, then there are a lot of the applications that we are using it in our daily life. And if I can give you example of the Instagram, and mostly the youth between the 20 to 30, they are already dealing with the different kind of the images, right? But here I'm just going to be talk about the image in the depth. So there would be a question definitely in our mind, like we know like whenever we have to be download any kind of image, so we can see the property of an image, we can see the name of the image, and the height and width we can see, right? But here the purpose of this webinar is to be trying to understand like uh, how these kind of the images has to be understand by the machine or the computer, right? So I'm just reading out one of the definition, that is the what is an image. So we can say an image is represented by its dimension, that is the height and the width, based on the number of the pixel. Okay, so might be most of you are aware about this, the last word that I have just announced called as a pixel value. Okay, so pixel value, I can say this is a very mathematical term. Okay, so what is this basically? Pixel is the smallest element of any kind of the images, right? Each pixel corresponds to any kind of one particular value, that would be the mathematical value. And these kind of the pixel values can be varies from 0 to 255. Okay, so when I'm just reading it, I think so you must be just confusing like what is this 0 to 55 pixel any value. Okay, one by one I'm just going to be explain each and everything. Each pixel store a value that is proportional to the light intensity, sorry, at that particular location, and the value of a pixel at any point corresponds to the intensity of the light photons striking at that point. If I can say how my images has to be understand by the particular machine or by the computer. So computer understand pixels. Okay, whatever your image is there, there are different kind of the images are there, which I'm just going to be covered in my later section of my presentation. Generally, I can say like which are the different kind of the formats of the images. So you know, JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group. You know, one of the different kind of images called as JPG files. Another file format, I can say, that is the PNG, portable network graphics. Another then, if I can say, then it is one of the BMP images that has been used for the Windows, and we have to save this kind of images with .bmp extension. So what is the point over here? If I can say how this image is going to be understood by the computer. So if I can say, I'll just open my notepad over here. Just wait. If I can say, then there is a formula in the mathematics, that is f of x comma y is equals to
Vinod sir,
p of, yes sir.
Vinod sir, can you increase your phone size, please?
Yes,
More,
sir. I'm
please,
doing
sir.
it, sir, doing it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. So in the mathematics, so the story behind this particular image is started from the pixel. Okay. So what is this f of x comma y and equals to g of x comma y? This x comma y. So every image has a, I can say, two-dimensional images. Okay. Then in the mathematics we know from the 10th standard, like we have a x-axis and we have a y-axis, right? X-axis will be the horizontal and y-axis will be the vertical. So x and y, these are the coordinates, I can say, of a particular image. And what do you mean by this f? F is basically a intensity. Okay, I'm just again repeating this word. F is basically a intensity. Okay, and x and y are the image coordinates. We can take input a particular image in the form of f of x comma y, means the coordinate and the intensity, and we have to be do some pre-processing on that particular image, and we will get a output as a g of x comma y, means f will be the intensity and g will be the intensity of the new image, and the coordinates will be the same. So this is the theory behind this. Okay, now if we can move to the next slide. This slide is very important. Now here I'm just talking about the what do you mean by this kind of pixels. Okay, now here I'm just putting up one of the slide or one of the picture. I can say there is a one certain image, and with this particular image there are different kind of images are there. Like if I can say, black and white is the one kind of image, and we can also call it as a binary image. Another type of the image is called as the grayscale image, and another type of the image is called as the color image. Okay, in which or generally we can call it as a RGB, that is the combination of red, green and blue. So whatever the type of the images are there that you are dealing with and that you are doing the conversion with, the applications are already available on the internet. Okay. Now the our purpose is to be understand like what is the coding behind it, how we can take that particular image as an input, how we are going to be do the pre-processing on that particular image, and how we are going to get the enhanced image. Okay. So the formula is to be, the theory behind this one is to be like you can see different kind of the colors over here. So whenever there is a black color over here, you can just follow my mouse over here. Okay. So whenever there is a color called as black, means the pixel value has to be there for this particular image will be 0. Okay. Now you can see it over here. Just follow my mouse cursor. Whenever we have to be increase the value, so there is a one portion of the black, and whenever we have to be move forward up to a value called as a 128, so this black color is just going to be changed into an gray color. Okay, it is not white, it is a mix up of the black color and the white color in the middle value, that is called as the 128. We can call it as a mid gray color. And when we have to be moved forward, and this mid gray, when the value is going to be reach up to the 255, then the pixels we can say these are the white color. Okay, exactly bright color in the black of this, like it is not exactly the black, it is the gray color, it is the gray color basically. Okay. So these are the type of the things, and when I have to be just show you the next slide, then your confusion will be definitely resolved. So this is the kind of the things that we are talk about, like how my computer is going to be understand a particular image. Now if I can say when there is a value called as 66, so I can say the parameter that I have shown you 0, 128 and 255, and when there is a value called as 66, means it is just towards to the middle of that 0 to 128, means exactly it would not be total blackish or not total grayish. Okay, when we have to be see the value in the form of a like 159 or above to that, so 159 it is moving towards to the white color basically. Okay. So a pixel value has to be created. We are just going to be see how to find out these kind of the metrics from the programming point of view. So this is a 15 by 15, I can say, pixel portion of a particular image. Okay. Now this is a one example, guys. I've just shown you on the net over here, and there is a one famous data set, I can say, not the famous one, that is the MNSIT, that is the handwritten digit classification. So if you can see, like means if we can talk about the single image, or there are some of the data sets are already available on the net, on this one also we can directly work, or we can do the pre-processing on the multiple type of images. So there is a one data set called as MNSIT. Dataset contains 60,000 training images. Okay, what is training, what is testing, I'll come to this particular part. So from there, I've just taken one of the example. If I can just do the slideshow, then you can just see the value. Okay. Now whenever you will see the value at that particular portion is very very black, means based on the pixel value, the computer is just going to be understand what is the color at that particular point. If you can see the maximum value 255, just follow my mouse cursor. 255, that is the brightest color, means I can say white. The sum of the values, which is also called as the, I can say 158. Okay, so it is above to 128 and less than 255. So there is a grayish color is over here. So like the way on the based on these kind of the pixel value, image has going to be get formed, or your machine is able to understand like this is the particular value of the pixel, and based on that it is going to be understand that particular image. Okay. Now, in the later part, I'll just talk about the types of the images. Okay. So computers deals with different types of the images based on their function representation. So these kind of the bifurcation that I have already told you: binary image, black and white image, grayscale image, and the uh, RGB image, or we can call it as a color image. Okay. Now in this one also there is a one mathematical point are there, like different kind of the images. Some are called as the 8-bit images, and another one is called as the 16-bit images. Okay. Now, for this kind of the how the calculation is going to be happen, like if I can say how you have taken up the value from 0 to 255. Okay. Now there is a one formula over here. To it is basically the superscript 2 raised to k minus 1. If I can say there is a one 8-bit image is there, and if I can calculate 2 raised to 8 minus 1, then definitely you are going to get the value 255. And based on this, if I can talk about a value which can be 16-bit images, so that you can calculate 2 raised to 16 minus 1 for the color images. Okay. So exact value I will tell you. I think so. It is 65,000 something 236. So what is the binary images? Images that can have only two unique values of pixel intensity. That is 0 means representing the black. And this is the very basic information about the image. If you can understand this thing, then everything, whatever the practical I will just show you, you will understand everything. Okay. And one that is represented the byte, because binary it can contain only two value, either it can be 0 or either it can be 1, are called as the binary images. Such kind of the images are generally used to highlight a discriminating portion of a colored image. Now I'll just give you live examples. Whenever this kind of image processing, one of the greatest I can say field that is used by the medical field, I can say. Okay, medical field, some of the tumor. Okay, somebody has a tumor. So in that one, some of the images that we have captured. So it's a just a vice versa. When there is a black portion is there, we have to highlight that one, and when there is a brightness is there, we have to make it as a black one. Okay. Now if you can just see this particular image, color image is there. Right? Now in this one, I just want to be find out the particular area where the fish is available, and the background I have to be just remove it. So when I have to do the pre-processing on this kind of the images, so I can only get the fish. Okay, so it is also one kind of the age detection factors are there. I'll tell you about the what are the filters are available. And this one also we have to be just look at a particular, we have to remove the background, and we have to just concentrate on the white kind of the object is basically there. Okay, so it's a general definition about the binary image, and also we can call it as a black and white image. Basically we are using the thresholding method that comes under the image segmentation. Now, the second thing consists with the grayscale images. Grayscale images, or we can say it's a 8-bit images, are composed of 256 unique color. How this value has been come 256 unique color, that has been come from here, from the formula 2 raised to k minus 1. Okay. So where a pixel intensity of 0 represent the black color, and the pixel intensity of the 255 represent the white color. So what we are trying to do, like there is a one color image, and if I can talk about the image processing, then image processing has to be done on the 2-dimensional only. Otherwise, if you can say the color images, it's a 3-channel color, that is the combination of RGB, red, green, and blue. So what we have done it over here, I've just taken one of the color images, that is a mix up of RGB, and I have to be convert that color image into an grayscale image. The third one is called as the RGB, okay, or we can call it as a color image. The images we are used in the modern world are RGB images or the colored images, which are 16-bit matrices to the computer. So if we can just calculate 2 raised to 16 minus 1, then exactly the value we are going to get 65,536. These are the different kind of the shades. Like in the grayscale, if I can say 255, okay, or 256, if I can start it with the 1. If I can start it with the value 0, like we are just studying the array concept. If there are 10 elements are there, then if I have to start it with 0 to 9, right, 10 elements are there. So similarly, if I can say, then 65,537 different colors has been possible
Vinod
for
sir,
each of the pixel.
Vinod sir, sorry to disturb you, but can you make it presentation mode,
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, yeah.
please?
Just one minute.
So that the screen should be properly visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. So I was just talking about the RGB that can represent the red, green, and blue channels of an image. So a pixel in an image, RGB image, will be of color black when the pixel value is 000, okay, and white when it is 255, 255, 255. Now the what the things that we have seen in the grayscale, it is the two dimensional, I can say, okay, where the value can be vary from the 0 to 255. And for the color image also, it would be starting 0 value for the black, and the white value can be 255, 255, and 255. So the two dimensional has been converted into an three dimensional. So the color image can contain the three channels basically. So now out of that, if you want to just show the image in the red color only, so what I can do, out of these three channels, I will first put the value as a 255, and the second and third parameter will be 00. So my color will be red. If I can say similarly, the first one 0 means red, and the green. We are just concentrating on the second one, right? So 255. And the third one, so in this one, the value, the output is going to be getted as a green. And the third one, that is the 00 for red and the green, and we are concentrating on the blue part. Okay. Now this is the RGB image. Now if you can see this kind of a color image is there, lot of the different kind of other shades. I have told you 65,536 this kind of the shades. With the help of this color image or a RGB image has to be created. Now if you can see, then it is basically colored with the R, G and B, that is R red, G green and the blue. So the combination of the RGB, it can create a one kind of the color image. Okay. Now we come to the part of what is image processing. Okay. So image processing is the process, or already you must be aware about this, like we can take one image as an input, and we will try to do some of the pre-processing, or from there we can try to take as the output of the enhanced image. Okay. So image processing is the process of transforming an image into a digital form, means the computer can understand like this is an image, and performing the certain operations to get some useful information from it. So the image processing system usually treats all the images as 2D signals when applying certain the predetermined signal processing methods. These are the some of the types of the image processing. Visualization means find the objects that are not visible in the images. We have to do the thresholding. Recognition, distinguish or the detect objects in the particular image, Tesla car or the driverless car, these kind of the objects we can find it out. Sharpening and restoration, created an enhanced image from the original image. Somewhere the brightness is not there, then we have to increase the brightness. Pattern recognition and retrieval. Okay, so these are the some of the types of the image processing where the image processing can be applied. Okay, now I'm just done with the presentation. I'll just take it out later on when we comes to the part of the thresholding. Okay, now I'll just come to the part of now hands-on. We are just going to be see. Okay, now for the practical part, I'm just going to be cover the two things. Okay, one is the Python interface, and another one is the interface called as the Google Colab. Okay, might be you know about this, right? Okay. So what should I do first over here? Like if you are first time working with this, then we have to take a latest version. Okay, so I'll just tell you the path how you are just going to be download the Python. Okay, so there is a website called as python.org. Okay, and over here in the downloads you have to go, and then you have to download the latest version, or either if I can say like if you want to do a if you want to do any operation on the images, then whatever the version is above than 3.7, it is very very satisfactory. Okay, so or either you can download the latest one, or either if you want to see the full list, then there is a one statement written over here, view the full list of the downloads. You can just click on this, and from here you can just they'll just tell you like you have to look for a particular release. Then already the Python is installed. I'm just telling you the path that this is the way that you can install the Python. Okay, so if you want to look at for this 3.10.11, 3.9.17, or this is the release date, that is the latest one, June 6, 2003, that they have just updated, right? So this is the one of the version that you can download from here. Like if I just want to be download, so what you have to do, you have to click on over here, and from there you have to be just move at the last, and based on this there are two things are there, guys. Windows installer 32-bit. Okay, if you know about this 32-bit operating system or 64-bit operating system, you can go to your my computer, right click on it, properties, then it will show you whether your operating system is 32-bit operating system or 64-bit operating system. So if I can say key, like if Windows 10 has been installed, then definitely it is a 64-bit only. And from here, if you want to install this Python, then you can click it over here. Your download will be automatically starting. Okay, so where in my case it is downloading, it is downloading over here. Okay, it is just going to be take some 2 minutes from here, and this folder has been directly gone to your downloads folder. Okay, so it will just wait for it. Okay, now the another thing, that is the another platform where we can do the some of the image processing, that is the another interface is called as Google Colab. Okay, you have to go to the Google, and here you have to type Google Colab. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that has been come to collaboratively. Okay, so what is the thing, this Colab is a one kind of the notebook that is allow you to combine the executable code and rich text in a single document along with the different kind of the images. So if I can just open it. Yeah. Okay, so the first interface is going to become like the best thing in this one is like you can get the data from the any kind of the like different kind of the data set websites are there, like you say repositories there, or kaggle.com is there from the GitHub. You can take out the data and directly you can install it over here. Okay, and directly you can work on this particular data. Okay, so if you want to be make it a particular file, then you have to be go to the menu called as file, and you can click on this new notebook. Okay, so this will create a one new notebook for you, and you can start working on it. Okay, it is just 40 seconds remaining. Okay, so now you guys your interface is ready, and you can just give the name over here and title. So I can say, or I can say give the name as a demo. Okay, so the name has been changed. Now in this one there are the lot of the different kind of options are there, but I will directly go to the option that is called as files over here. Okay, now whatever your Google Drive data is there, you can see different kind of the already data sets are there, and from here we can whatever the images that we want to do, you want to work it on, you can take out these kind of the images, and you can put it over here. Okay, now another one more image, I'll take it from here. Okay, that is already there in my computer. Okay, so both the images will be here, right? Why I have to just see, because I have to otherwise I have to give the path where this particular images has been stored. Okay. Now my downloads has been done. So this Python, that is the installer that has been already there in the downloads. So what you need to do, guys, you have to just click on this, and the way that you have installed any other application or any other software, right? You have to just go to the next, and you have to click on finish. Okay. So by this way, that Python has been installed in your computer. Right. One of the most important thing that I want to know, upgraded, it is just telling me customize installation. Okay, or you can just go for the upgrade now. Okay, upgrade now. So in this one already has been installed, so I'm just canceling it right now. Okay, by this particular way you can install the Python. Okay. Now once the Python installed, okay, now you have to be the interface, we have to be call it as a IDLE. Okay, or I'll just tell you in the different way. I'll just search it for the Python over here. Okay, now this Python, this folder has already been created. I've just downloaded a version of Python 3.10, and the interface that I'm going to be used, that is called as IDLE. Okay, so I'm just going to be click on this. Just wait for it. Guys. Yeah. Now, once these kind of the ideally has been there in front of you. Now, before started working on these kind of the images, we should have a basic knowledge about the libraries of the Python. Okay. Now, might be you should know like the different kind of the libraries which contains. There is a one library called as OpenCV that has been used specifically for the image processing, and the second one library is called as the numpy, that stands for numerical Python. If you want to be just work it on the array and the mathematical part, then numpy that you need to be installed. And the another one is called as matplotlib that has been used for there is a one concept called as histogram in image processing, right? So whenever you are just going to be make a particular graph or you want to make a particular plot, okay, so these are the matplotlib library has been basically used. There are also another library called as Pilo, okay, PILLOW. In short, we can just say this is the PIL. The another one is called as Skykit. So every library, whatever it is there in the Python, that has been used for the specific purpose. So from this today's practical, the introductory part, I'm just going to be concentrate on these three libraries. Okay. So once you have just installed the Python, okay. Now based on this, you have to be just install these kind of the libraries. Okay. So how you are going to be just install these kind of libraries for the ideally I'm telling you. Okay. You have to just press the and control R and just write down the CMD. So whatever the path is there, by default path is there, where you have just installed the Python just now. For installing these kind of the libraries, we have a just command called as pip. Okay. With the help of this pip, we need to write install and any library open cv. Now, right now, in my case, all these libraries have been installed. So one way that I will just show you, install OpenCV. Make sure your spelling should be correct. Okay. Now, now the cursor is blinking. Now it's just going to be get ready for downloading the OpenCV library for the Python so that I can work on the different kind of the images. So the output is that we are going to be get it from this like requirement already satisfied, right? So this is the message that we have already get it because this kind of the library I have already installed in my computer. Yeah, just wait for it. Once again, it will come to the command prompt. Okay, so I'm just going to be show you in both the way whether you can use the Google Colab or whether you can use the IDLE. Okay. Now, okay, we'll just wait for it. Now your this Google Colab interface is already ready. Okay. Now, if I just want to be install here, also we have to be installed because here, if you want to be work it on the images, then the same things is over here. PIP install OpenCV Python. Then I'm just trying to be executed. Yeah. I hope the whatever the things that I have covered, it is clear to you guys. Yes or no? Can you just write your responses in the chat, guys? Whatever the things I'm just explaining you from the last 20 minutes, right? Are you getting it? Yeah, it is making sense. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Now the same way, if you need to install the matplotlib, and this is the thing that we are going to be use it for histogram. Okay. So pip install matplotlib. Sorry, the spelling is wrong over here. And yeah, requirement already satisfied because I have already installed. Pip install and numpy basically when we are trying to do the width and the height or some matrices, or we are just going to be change any pixel value. So for that, numpy is just going to be work for you. Yeah. So the same thing we can just see it over here. Yeah. Okay. Like this. Pip install numpy. Okay. Now we have just completed, okay, the OpenCV library, Matplotlib library. Or in this case, when you are doing it first time, then it is just take more time because the this particular library has not been installed in your case, right? Okay. Now we are just going to be see the first practical, and that is the thing like whatever the operation that we want to be do on the images. First, we should read the image first, and then we have to show the image, and then we can think about the different kind of the operation. So what should I do in this particular part? I'll just try to import the library called as CV2. Okay, so whatever the library that I have installed it over here, OpenCV, I'm just going to be import it in my code first of all. That will be the first line of the code whenever you are interacting with the image processing. Okay, now I'll just trying to import the matplotlib over here, and from the matplotlib I will import py plot, and I'll just give a alias name called as PLT. Okay, so there is a line that you need to be right. So we are not doing actually coding. We are just importing the libraries up till now. Okay, so from matplotlib import pyplot as PLT. Now I'll just take a one variable over here img, and whatever the library I have imported CV2, and from here how to read the image, that is the im read, and I'll take it one image that has been already there, workspace.jpg, and then I just try to show this particular image that has to be read by my computer. Right? So the 4 lines of code, out of this 2 lines of code is only for importing the library. This is the line that we are going to be read a particular image by the system, and here we are trying to show the image. So plt.im show. Okay, and we can try to run it. Now this is my image. Okay, now if you can see the actual image, I'll just show you guys. Just wait for it, it is opening. Now the image that I'm just trying to show you, that is the original image, the color is something different. It is a totally color image, I can say, and what is the output that I'm going to be getting over here is something different. Okay, the color has been different. Okay. Now what we are supposed to be do now in this one, like one thing that we need to be understand over here, like these are the x-axis and the y-axis. I'm just give you the introduction in the theory. Okay, so it is just going to be a like of on whatever the image it is showing everywhere, whatever the color is there, and if I can say this black color, so here in this particular portion of our image the pixel value is 0, and whenever there is a bright color called as white, right, when the value is near 255 or near about 250. Okay, now once this color has been little bit thoda change, what we are trying to do, that is the basically bgr format. Okay, that is also the blue, green and red combination of that. Now there will be a need that we just need to convert this bgr to rgb. Okay, so for this I'm just writing a code over here. I am show cv2, there is a one function called as cvt color, and in this cvt color whatever y image has been stored in a variable called as img. Okay, so I'm just going to be pass it over here img, then cv2 dot color. We are just trying to convert this bgr to rgb. Okay, and when we have to be run this, okay, just 1 minute. Have to just check, huh? Yeah. CV2 is correct. Okay. Correct right now.
Vinod
CV2
sir,
has no attribute.
Vinod sir,
Yeah, yeah,
is it
yeah.
possible to zoom the coding part or somewhat so that
This one.
people are
Okay.
asking, people are asking for the
Okay.
same.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Now it is okay.
Yeah, now it is fine, sir.
Now it is fine. Okay, okay sir. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Now it is working, guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just show you the previous coding also. Yeah. Both the libraries we are importing, we are trying to just read the image and we are just trying to show the image over here. Okay. And the next thing, that is the thing that we are trying to be just convert this bgr to the rgb. Now whatever the image that we have seen, now it is the actual image over there. Okay. Now, okay. Now these are the basic things that we are doing, right? Reading a particular image and we are just showing the image. Okay. Now, one thing that we can do in this, if you just try to find out, like if I can say, if I can go to that particular file and I can right click on it, or there's no need when you just move the cursor. Just 1 minute. Yeah. When you go to the properties and in the detail, when you go, then you can just got the dimensions, right? That is the width and the height of a particular image. So that is the 400 into 379. Okay. So when you want to know through the coding, because this is the manual thing that we have seen. So wherever I have read the image and in this particular variable, I have just stored my image, that is the variable img, and I have to write img and I have to just type shape. Okay. Yeah. This is the best thing in the Google Colab. It is going to become automatically. Yeah. So I'll just try to run it. Yeah. This is the thing, right? So 379 and 400. This is the thing that we have seen it for a particular image. Okay. 400 into 379 and the color image, that's why it is just showing the, sorry, it is just showing you the channel is 3, that is the rg and b. Now the next thing what we can do, what's the pixels value. Okay. Now in this one, if I can just print, and where I've just read my image, and that is the variable I have to need to pass in this, and yeah, this is it, right. Now these are the pixel values, actual pixel values, what I have just shown you in the theory form at the starting of my session. Okay, so you can just see the values over here, where the value will be sometimes 0, then there would be a black color is there, 255, that is the highest color. Okay, and between that 128, then grayscale, some values will be less than 128, some values will be greater than 128. Okay, so that this is the particular concept, or how you can print this kind of the pixel of a particular image. That's a very simple thing. For shape, whatever the variable dot shape you have to need to write, and the print and the variable you need to print it over here, right? Because the thing is that, guys, like whatever the operations I'm just going to be show you, whether it would be related to cropping, or it is rotation, or it is the resize. Okay, this thing that you need to be understand very well. Okay, from the x-axis, what is the value I am taking, from the y-axis, whatever the value I am going to take, right? Your program is just going to be based on the x and y coordination, or x or y coordinate, okay, or the dimensions of a particular image. From here up till now it is working, guys, in your case. Can I know your responses? Is it making sense, whatever the things I'm just telling you, guys? Collab file. Yeah. I'll definitely, yes. I'll definitely share. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely share. Yeah. Okay. Now the next thing that we are just going to be see about this resize. Okay, now the resize is totally different on whatever the dimensions and the xy coordinate I'm just talking about. So the best thing is, guys, like in the Python, basically the point is, guys, like we are doing this kind of the image processing long back, before 5 years I can say, on the MATLAB. Because just because of, you can just try to there is some limitation, because the license copy has been required from the MathWorks. If you can just try to be take the or purchase the student version, then it is in the lakhs, right? So the best thing is like Python, Google Colab, or I can say Jupyter Notebook, right? These are the open source. We can try to do the things very easily. Okay, now proceed further without wasting any time. So I'll just use a function called as resize. Okay. Now in the resize, we sometimes we have a lot of confusion. Like we just want to be increase the size, or we are just trying to be decrease the size. Okay. Now what I'm just what this function is, whatever I'm writing it over here, I have to just pass my img, and in this one, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be just give the dimensions basically. Okay, so I can say 500, and I can say this is, or I can say 600 and 400. Now the actual size that you already know, right? And if you can just print this image shape, that is the 400 into 379. Okay, so what I'm just going to be do, like operation I want to do, I want to just do the resize, and I have to be just run this thing. Okay, just 1 minute. Oh, yeah. Uh, yeah, from here, one parenthesis that we have missed. Now, I hope that will work. Yeah. Okay. Now from this one, okay, that has been resized. Now I am show. Okay, these are the simple commands are there for reading and for showing a particular image. Yes, guys. Right, guys. So you can just see the image over here, whatever the dimensions that we have, 400 into 379. Okay, I'll just once again I'll confirm 400 into 379. And the things that we can do it over here, we are just resizing it, and that is 600 into 400, right? So you can just see on the right hand side that has been gone it over here up to 600 into 400. Okay, let me just do some more experiment on it, like 800 and up to 600. Okay. Yeah. So you can see the image size that has been 800, and this particular Y, if you can see it over here, that has been already changed because we have just made it as a 600 over here. So this is the one way that we can resize a particular image. Okay. Now the another way is also there, this is the thing that I will just show it over here on this IDLE. Okay, so we can also take the experience of this, how this IDLE interface is basically working. It is very easy, like when we are supposed to be work it on a different kind of the interfaces for different programming languages. From this you have to go to the file and click on new file. Okay, and from here also we can do it on different kind of expect. Okay, now the different kind of the expect in the resizing is, normally I've just given the dimension or I'm just changing, right? So there is no rocket science I can say in this, but there is some of the things like there is a concept called as expect ratio. Okay, I'll just write it over here. Expect ratio. What do you mean by this expect ratio? Basically, we are just trying to be, suppose our image is 100%, right? And I just want to be make my image like smaller. Okay, we are just increasing the size, or we can also decrease the size also on the Google column. The same thing that we can do it over here also. Okay, now if I can say 200 up to 350. Okay, so both the way that it can be work, either they decrease the resize either in the increment manner or either in the decrement manner. Okay, yeah, this is the same way, right? So the one thing is over here, like what I want to be just tell you, whatever my percentage of the image is 100%, I'm not I don't want to be do this kind of the coordinates and all. I just want to be make it my image by 50%. Okay, now for this I should write import cv2 that has been required. I'll take a one variable, guys, over here, that is cv2, and I'll try to read my file over here. Okay, and this way, if your images are not in this particular folder, so you can give the path over here also, like my image right now, or I can take one another image. Okay, that is there in the, I'll just try to take a one name. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, so if I can just show you, this is the original image. Okay, yeah, so this is the name of the image is lighthouse, that is the jpj. Okay, and we can also try to find out the shape also. Yeah, as a beginners, if I can just, if you are just doing these things in the first time, so I would suggest you, like, you can start it with the IDLE. Okay, because when you just try to see the things now, like some of the commands of the IDLE is not going to work in the Google column. Okay, so try it as a beginner in the IDLE. It is a very means easy interface, and then you can move it to the Google column. So I just want to know the shape. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I just want to be I'll just take a one example, one variable that is called as scale percentage, and I have to be just make my whole image without changing the content. Okay, without changing the any of the object which is available in my image. I just want to be convert my image from 100% to the 50%. Okay, this is the program that we are writing. Now, if you can see width, so I can just take the shape over here for width and percent, and after it is divided by 100. Okay, then I can do it with, because both the sides we need to be changed. Now the scale percent. Okay, so whatever the calculations I'm just trying to do, like scale percent, this is for the width and this is for the height. Scale percent means 50 divided by 100, 1 by 2 means 0.5. That is the same thing over here, 50 divided by 100, that is the 1 by 2. And if you can calculate, then it is 0.5. Okay. Then I'm just taking another variable called as b size, and in this one, I can take both the things, width and my height, whatever the value it is going to be calculate, and whatever the variables I'm taking, it is not of like you can take any variable. That is not necessary you have to take these variables only. There is no standard format for this, and src dot d size. Okay. And here, if you want to print, then I'll just copy these things. Okay. So it will just little bit time will be saved. Okay. That is my resized dimensions, and from here, this time the src, the input one is going to be changed as a output. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in the way, if you can see, then this is a sort of little bit length coding, but we are not doing the any kind of the great things over here, right? So the first line, importing library, then reading my image. Okay. So first I can just run this one, then we can talk about it. Okay. Yeah. I'll just try to save as a demo. Okay. And the Python files, you know that the extension of the Python file is called as demo.py. Okay. So I'll just save this file. Whatever my default folder is there, where my Python, all the Python has been installed. Demo.py. Now the name has been changed over there. Now, how to run this particular program? There is an option called as run or run module, or directly you can use a function called as F5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Original dimensions stored. Okay. D size. Just look at the program once again. From height. Okay. It is perfect. Just have to add one thing. Now we can just save it once again. Huh? Have to just look at. I'll just wait for a minute. Yeah. WITH height. Okay. You can save it, and we'll just try to run. Okay. What is telling attribute? Okay. 1 minute. Okay, new attribute called as t size. Just 1 minute. Huh? I don't know what is. %, okay. Height, intercept, shape, 0. Everything is perfect over here. Um, see. JPG file only. Okay. In the images. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes, I'll just work out on this. Okay, I'll just come to this particular part. Okay, yeah, let's move further. Okay, this is the way that we can put the comment. Okay, in Python. Now the next thing is like when you want to crop an particular image. Okay, so cropping an particular image is also like it is based on basically on dimensions of a particular image. Okay, so if I can say like import CV2. So in one file, I'll also write down the whole programs, and I can just read the particular file. Okay, or can just make it a little bit short. Okay, and if you want to do the crop, okay, I'll just take a one variable through my uh, value that just give a one name for the printing. The name is going to become on the output image, and both the images, like the original image and the crop image. The crop. I've just taken a one image that is called as workplace.jpg. I'm just trying to read it. And so the other code is not going to be get executed once we have done the comment on that. Yeah. Okay, guys. So it is just crop. The function is very easy function. Okay. You can just say over here in one line we can do it in the Python. Okay. Or what we have done it over here, we are just trying to just give the dimension. Okay, or the dimensions that I have just shown you over here. This is the dimension that I have given, the value that I have given. Okay, and based on that, from the width or the height, from which portion from the width or which portion from the height, according to that it can cut, or both the images it can show it over here. This is my original image. Okay, that is the 400 into 379, and this is the crop image. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, guys, it is working fine. It is making sense. Whatever the practicals I am just showing you right now. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. So we'll proceed further. Okay. So these are the basic operations that we can do once the resize that we have done and the stop we have done. Okay. Now the one thing that we have seen, like in the Google column here, whatever the images that I want to show, and again I have just converted that image into my original image. Means I have just converted to RGB. So there is also one of the formula, like if there is any image and if you can convert that particular image, right, to the grayscale. So how we are going to be convert this particular thing? Am I audible, sir? Yes, am I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Yeah, no? Okay. Yeah. So I can just use this particular function which I have already used in the past for BGR to RGB. I can take out my image, which is coded img tv2 dot, and the time the RGB that we have, and we can just BGR to gray. Okay, and then we can show IM show grayscale image. I'll just save it once again. Yeah, right, guys. Yeah, this is my, okay. I'll just put it on the left. This is my image, okay, original image, and this is my grayscale image. Now in this one also, if you can just try to see like the portion, okay, this is the grayscale image, huh? Don't confuse it with the black and white. Black and white, the portion, that is the thing that I'm just going to tell you the next program. So there are some of the portions. So based on this, it is based on the pixel value when we try to convert it from a color image into an grayscale image. So this will be the totally zero. Somewhere it would be gray. Somewhere it would be totally white. So the value can be 255. Okay. Okay. Now one of the most important I can say of the image segmentation, that is the operation that we can do it on this in the terms of thresholding. Okay, so thresholding is a very important everywhere. Automation, medical field, they are just using this kind of concept. Okay, so my next program will be based on this. I'll take out a one variable image underscore gray, and I'll try to read the image. tv2.im show. Okay, so I'm reading. I'm sure. I think so. You would be familiar. What the I think we have done some 3 4 programs. Right? Some parameters I'm giving. I'm just going to explain you. What are these? And I will just show my image again. Now all things done. Okay, then. Yeah, 1 point. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So this was a color image basically. Okay, I'll just tell you the source. This is the image lighthouse.jpg. First, what the things that I have done it or okay. Before this, I just want to give you a sort of little bit idea. Okay, about this thresholding. Then you will try to understand in the practical part. So, what do you mean by basically thresholding? Thresholding is nothing but one of the things that we can do it under the image segmentation. So, image thresholding is a simple image segmentation technique. It is used to convert a one grayscale image or any RGB image to a binary image, or I can say it's a black and white image. Image thresholding is a type of the image segmentation that divides the foreground from the background in a particular image. Now, if you can see this particular image over here, now in this kind of a image, if I can see whatever the hidden part is there, okay, now which is not highlighted there over there, so it is just going to be do the reverse of that. Whatever the black portion is there, it is just going to be make it dull, and whatever the portion is not visible, then it is just going to be make a some brightness on that particular image. If you can see the example of this one, this is not pretty clear at all, or if you can say just dots are there or some noise are there. In image processing, we can say when the image is very disturbed image or the contents that we want to see, or you have taken the picture or the blur image, I can say. Okay, so to convert this kind of the remove the noise from that particular image or whatever the object it is there, when we can see this particular image very clearly. Okay, so basically it is for the darkness. Okay, so from darkness to the brightness and brightness to the darkness. The one fundamental that I'm just trying it over here, that technique is called as binary thresholding. So the concept is very means simple for this binary thresholding. If the pixel value, because image is made up of pixel, I hope so that particular fundamental is very clear to you. If the pixel value is less than or equal to the assigned threshold, then now, okay, what I'm trying to do, these two lines are very I hope so that is clear. I'm just, this is a RGB image. I'm just reading this image as a grayscale image. That's why I'll just read the right particular line cv2.im read as a grayscale, and I'm just showing that particular image. Now the value that I'm using it, there is a one particular value I'm using it as a threshold. Okay. Now this threshold value will be there from the 0 to 255. That is the concept that we have seen in the PPT. Now, based on the particular value, whether this pixel value is less than or equal to the assigned threshold. Right now I've just given you the threshold of 60 right now. I can give it as a 100. I can give it as a 150 also. I can give it as a 200 also. Then the pixel value can be set to 0 if it is pixel value is less than. If the pixel value is 25, I have given the threshold 60. So the pixel value is less than, then the pixel value is set to 0. 0 means black, or it is set to the maximum. Okay, this is the simple funda of this, and they're just showing it in the mathematical portion over here. DST x comma y, these are the coordinates, height and width, is equals to 0 if threshold is greater. If threshold is greater than the particular thresh or the pixel value, or otherwise if it is not there, the reverse, or it will be getting up to the maximum value. Okay, so what we are trying to do in this, we have just given a particular value. Now if we can just see the particular image, or if I can just give the value, so most of the portion, if you can see in this one, are total blackish. है ना? Because the whatever the pixel value, if we can see of this particular image, then if it is the threshold value, whatever I am giving it over here, or the pixel value is less, then it will move it to the 0 only. Okay, so what I can do, I just change the threshold over here. Okay, and in the threshold there is a one direct formula is there, cv2 dot threshold. 4 parameters I am taking it under this one. img underscore gray, that is the my image. I have read the image with this variable. Hash is the value, or either you can just remove this statement, एक line का code आप कम कर सकते हैं. Yeah, you can just remove a one line of code and you can directly put the value 120 over here. The maximum value it can be used for the grayscale, it would be 255, and this is the thresholding. First, the one method that is called as binary thresholding. So for this, I have written it thresh underscore binary function. Okay, and I'm just showing the image. Okay. Now, okay, so 120. So if you can just see, if you can run this particular. Okay, there will be so little bit effect is there in this. Uh, this one. Okay. Now you can see 180 seconds. So mm, or instead of it, if I can use management, then I try. This one, not working. Let's just say one another image, if I can say for this. Okay. Yeah, grayscale converted. Okay. It is okay. That's value. for that, just 1 minute, yes. Okay. I'll just make it a little bit active. After just one. I'll just make it inactive. Huh? Yeah. And the first dimension was also a little bit problem. No? Okay. No issue. Right. Okay, so I've just given the value 100 over here. Okay. And you can just first see the image as a grayscale. And you can feel the difference. Yeah. After, yeah, this is my image, grayscale image. Okay. Yeah. One minute. Anything commented? No. Okay. This one is also coming in this. So both those programs are running simultaneously. Okay. That's why I have to give the comment on this. Yeah. So the first thing is run. Yeah. Now this is my grayscale image. Okay. The first two lines of code over here. Yeah. Now I'll just put the threshold value. Then it can compare, and then it can show the value also. Now we can try to run. So you can see the image, right? Okay. Now given the value 100. So whatever the portion is there, whatever the threshold value I am giving. So what is the formula? If the pixel value is less than that, then it will go to the 0. Okay, means to the blackish side. Now again, I'll just try to put the value to a little bit 170. Try to run. Okay, now you can see. Yeah, now you can just see the difference on the right hand side, guys. Whenever the thresholdings are, I'm just trying to do. So whenever whichever the portion that you need to be highlight, right? So according to that, you can set your threshold value. And that image is also called as a binary value, or we can also call it as a black and white. So this is black and white, and this is the grayscale. I hope you find out the difference in this. Right? Yeah. Okay. Now the one problem that we are also getting it in the first one, right? Yeah. We will also see that. Okay. This is the same program. You have to just run this. Yeah. Right, guys? Now, the original image, if I can show you, then this is the original image. Okay. 1024, or when we exactly see the, yeah, it is showing over here 1024 into 768. And when we run the program from there, it is just showing you. So this is 768 1224 3 channel. And when we try to convert this image as a, yeah, after. Now this image and this image. So if you can just compare the content, okay. So aspect ratio are the same. Aspect ratio are the same. Whatever the things are there in your original image, and whatever the changes that you can see it on the after the resizing of that image. So this is also can be done. Either you can just play with the coordinates, you can give any kind of coordinate, you can crop the particular image, or either you can just put the content same as it is, but you need to just resize the image by 50%. That is the same way that you can increase the size by 200% also. Yes, guys, it is making sense, guys. Can I know your responses? Is it making sense? Yes, guys, are you there? Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, fine. Now proceed to the another examples. Okay. Now, another thing that we are just going to be see about this rotation. Yeah. Now, a rotation I can take. Yeah. I have to just put the comments here. Yeah. So the first few lines are very, very common in every program, I can say. Is a one variable image cv2 dot imread, and we can just see it on this particular image only. Can be applicable in any image, that is not the problem. So in Python we have a directly one function that is called as rotate, and cv2 we can just write down rotate underscore 90. Okay, so we can just rotate the image by 90%, 90, and then 180 and 360, something like that we can do it, right? So 90%, if I can just say, then there would be a one portion, like if you want to do it clockwise, or there is a word called as counterclockwise. So I've just written it 90 degree and the clockwise. And then cv2 I am show rotate image. This is a string, so you can write down anything in this, and the image that would be stored in a after the rotation. Clockwise. Okay. So, select the image 2, some problem. Select that rotate. Since we have no attribute called as rotate, now it is not working. Okay. So we can just see it. We can see it over here. No issue. Rotate one. Yeah. Okay. Image is rotated. Okay. This one we have to need to write down in the capital letters. Yeah. It's a minor mistake. Whenever we have to do the coding, something happening, and we are not able to understand what is there in that, right? Yeah. So it happens with everybody. Yeah. Okay. And the window name, okay, image 2. And other, okay, we are not just showing the image over here directly. Yeah, right, guys? Yeah. Yeah. So original image, that is the perfect one. So that is the clockwise. We can do the 90-degree. Okay, we can rotate the. Now the another thing, 180-degree हो गया. Okay, 90-degree we can say. Then clockwise. Uh, Clockwise it is just a problem is doing. So yeah, no issue. I'll just come back to this. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Now the next thing is like okay, I'll just show you over here only. Yeah. Yeah. The next thing is like concept is called as negative image. Okay. So till now that we have done the cropping, rotation, resize, thrashing, convert into color image into an grayscale image. Now the next thing is over here that we have to just see it from the PPT first. Okay. Now the we have to be convert an image into a negative image. Now, negative images, there are two different kind of operations are there. There is a direct function called as bitwise function. Through the use of that, we can convert an image into a negative image, or either whatever the pixels are there of my image, I can just I can just subtract each and every pixel of my image from the 255. So mathematically, if I can say, then this kind of the transformation function has been used in negative image is s equals to t of r, that is l minus 1 minus r. L minus 1 minus r is the maximum intensity value, that is the 255. S is the output pixel value and r is the input value. Okay. So the negative of an image is achieved by replacing the intensity I in the original image by I minus 1. The darkest pixels will become the brightest and the brightest pixels becomes the darkest. Image negative is produced by subtracting the each pixel from the maximum intensity value. So both the way that you can convert the image into a negative image. I'll just show you the code for this. Yeah, this is the point, guys. So this thing, we are reading the image. We are just showing the original image, and every pixel of that particular image, lighthouse image, we are just subtracting it from the 255. So we are just going to see. Yeah, this is my original image. Original size is 1024 into 760. That's why it is bigger. Okay. So if you can just see this particular portion. Okay. Now this one, it is not totally visible. Okay. Now that is the portion that we can see when we trying to convert image into an negative image. So that object, or this is the where is a particular location, we can see that particular, right? So there are a lot of the means advantages of the negative images also when we need to be convert. So this is the way that we can convert. Okay. Now the next thing is over here, that is the histogram. Okay. Now this histogram is very important, and nowadays this kind of photographers or our cameras are there. That is already the concept of the histogram is already there in that. Okay. So what do you mean by the, just we have to just look at the proper definition. Histogram is considered as a graph or the plot which is related to the frequency of pixels in a grayscale image with the pixel value 0 to 255. Whenever you will, from where you will try to study the image processing, the base of these things will be the same everywhere. Okay, everywhere they're just going to be talk about the 0 to 255 only. So grayscale image, in an image in which the value of each pixel is a single sample, it carries only intensity information where pixel value carries from 0 to 255. 5 types of parameters we are just going to be use it for the make a particular histogram of a particular image. Okay. Now the first one is the image, that is the source image that we are going to be read by the imRead function. Channels, it is the index of the channel when we have to be calculate the histogram. Mask, that is the mask image. Histogram size and the range basically. Okay. And so applications of histogram in digital image processing, these kind of histograms are used for simple calculations in software. So whenever you want to be do the pre-processing or changing in any every pixel of that image, so first what they are trying to do, they can take a one image and they can just look at the histogram, they can try to create the histogram of that. It is used to analyze a particular image. Properties of an image can be predicted by the detailed study of the histogram. The brightness of the image can be adjusted by having the details of the histogram. So from this particular plot, you can just check where the brightness is there, where the darkness is there. The contrast of the image can be adjusted according to the need by having details of x-axis of histogram. And these histograms are used in thresholding as it improves the appearance of the image. Okay. So I'm just moving it to my Google Colab over here. Okay. And I'll just show you the histogram. Okay. And I also tell you the basics. So I'll just show you one video. From there, we can just try to understand like how this histogram has been already created. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. So what we need to do, the first two things are the libraries. I hope so that is already clear to you. From here, we are just trying to read the image, okay, in a grayscale. Zero value has been used for 0, 1, and -1. Okay. Histogram, one variable that we have taken, and there is a one function, directly function is there that is called as calc hist, that is going to be calculate the histogram. So the first parameter, that is the my image source, which I have read it from the imRead function. That is the 0, that is the channels, that is the mask, that is the value and the maximum value. Okay, and the histogram that we can see. Now these kind of the values or these kind of the lines is going to become. Okay. So what do you mean by these kind of the line or how the histogram? Okay, it is about the function that is okay. Like if I can take the first 5 parameter, I can put some value and the application can create a histogram for me. But the basic things that you need to be understand, I'll just try to tell you the basics from this. I hope this will be clear to you. Yes, wait. Just wait. Just yeah, it's working here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just look at this particular image. Okay. Now this is a, you can just consider like there is an image. We have converted that image into a grayscale image. That is the thing that I have told you, BGR to grayscale, any image you can convert. Or when you are reading the image, also you can give the 0 parameter, right? So 0 is the parameter that is also used for converting an image into a grayscale. Now you can see in this particular, these are the kind of the pixels values are there. So this is totally brightness, definitely 255, near about 255. Black, that is the 0 value, and in the middle of that, it is totally thoda different. It is little bit different. It is little bit different. Now from this grayscale pixel value, what they have just drawn a one kind of diagram over here, right? Two axes are there, x-axis and y-axis. On the x-axis, what they are talking about the pixel intensity. Okay, when I've just shown you the first slide of this webinar, then the x-axis is showing you the pixel intensity levels, and the x-axis is talking about the number of pixels. So they are just putting up a parameter from the highest range is started from lowest range 0, and the highest range is 255 in the terms of grayscale. And how many portion, the location of this black portion, how many times it is there? Simply we can count 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they have written the 4. Then what is the value? Pixel value 65. How many locations are there? Then we can say 6. 175 means we are moving towards the brighter side. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, and if I can talk about 6, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 255 means full brightness. So how many times it is there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I hope it is clear to you. Right? So this is the basic funda. Okay, how we are just going to be create a histogram. Okay. Now the next thing that I just want to be show you. Okay. Now these are the different kind of the images. Okay. Now this will be like a grayscale image pixel value for a particular different kind of the images. So the same way, the technique is to be same. Based on whatever the pixel values are there, we have to be just look out the intensity level of that particular color. Okay, now this is a grayscale image. Okay, now might be it will be a RGB image. We have converted into an grayscale image, and based on this, the highest number of pixel intensities it would be 256. Okay, if we can calculate from 0, then 255. 0 stand for black, 225, 255 stand for white. Okay, that you need to understand, and based on this directly they have just used a formula like the formula that we have used, CALC histogram. 5 parameters I have passed, and based on it, it is created a histogram. Right? Yeah, this is the pixel intensity value, and this is the number of pixels. Now, if you can see the more images, see more black images. Just follow my mouse cursor, guys. More black pixels. See, if you can see anything in this one, dark. Very few lighter part. So you can just see the pixel. Closer to 0. Everything is closer to 0. 0 stand for black. 255 stand for white. And in the middle it is grayscale. Everything brighter. So you can just see the pixels. How the histogram has been created. More white pixel. Dull image. Nothing has to be there in this. So grayscale. Middle, see. From 120 up to the 150, 160, something like that. Pixel of all intensity level. So brightness is also there. Black portion is also there. Then there they have created the pixels. Means 0 value is also there. 50 it is there. 100 it is there. And 200 is also there on this. Okay. Now more diagrams. So black. So more priority has to be given it to the, then there is a grayscale. Brightness, nothing is brightness is there. And if you can see this one, equalized image. So there is a one operation called as histogram equalization. With the help of this, when we try to convert this kind of the blackish image into an brightness image, you can see this as the brightness on the particular face. Okay, and the logo also. So that has to be performed with the histogram equalization. Okay, now these are the some of the basic operations from my side, guys. Practical part. Now we can just discuss about this real life applications of image processing. Okay, so if I can say, if you can search it on the Google from your end also, then there are multiple areas are there where we are using the image processing. Right. One of the most affected area that is called as automated. Automated means I'm just talking about the manufacturing. Right? If I can just tell you what are the 6 industries that is based on that they are using the image processing. So manufacturing, right? In the manufacturing, that is steel is there, steel industry, metal industry, then beverages it is also there, fabric, textile industry, right? Then leather industry. Okay, there are a lot of the industries are there which is basically working on the image processing. Basically, they have called it as a concept of machine vision or computer vision. I hope, might you have heard this kind of words, right? Machine vision. Basically, if I can talk about the automotive area, manufacturing area, then we have to be call it as a machine vision. So, what the role of the Image processing in the machine vision, the manufacturing processes for building the virtually every system and component within an automobile can benefit from the use of machine vision. Means exactly the use of the image processing is whenever in the production line any product is making, right? Your cameras has been set up, high resolution cameras. They are just going to be take a picture of that image, and they are going to do the processing, like the processing coding that we have seen, resizing the images, color image into and brightness images, rotation of the images. And the one thing is that, like, if we can obtain some of the information, like these kind of image processing we are using for a word called as defect detection. I'm also working on one kind of a project that is called as ceramic tiles. We have an area from we have an area called as Morbi. It is from Rajkot. It is 60 kilometers. 250 companies are there of ceramic tiles. So they are just going to be make a one kind of application which can find out the defects and these kind of the thing which is possible with the help of the image processing. Medical field, lot of things are there. Medical devices, if I can say, the second point. Quality inspection is critical to success. Liability for defective products. So what is the role or what is the benefit we are getting? Cost, guys, try to understand, dear participants. Cost is also involved in these kind of things. So image processing can find out the defects one. It is just going to be separated from the production line only. That is the kind of the inspection it is possible with the help of the image processing. Rapidly changing cost, pending the regulation, all challenges medical device manufacturer. Then food and beverages, right? So these kind of the if you can just find out the research papers, right? Those who are in the academics. So if you can just find out the papers on the food and the beverages, everybody, lot of the research has been already going on, right? And there are some of the challenges area in the image processing is like you can find out the defect which is very minor, right? Or applications are already there for the big defects which is totally visible from the naked eyes. But when we are trying to build such kind of applications which can also find out the defect which is very minor, which is not possible from the not able to see from the naked eyes. Right? So food and beverages also, these are these kind of the application that is already based on the machine vision. It is the cap is totally like it is tightly capped. Okay, whatever the portion, the things that we are filling it up to the water, or sorry, the cold drink and all, and the water also, it is up to the same level, right? And it is also happening in the metal also. That is also happening in the steel industry also. So one more real life applications of image processing, that is the object detection. Okay, like driver's license car. Already this kind of the foreign country, if I can talk about, then a lot of the research, and in India also a lot of the people are working. They are trying to just to know which are the algorithms. Right? And everything is there. In the terms of the coding, if I can say, then coding, yeah, then it would be available everywhere. But the thing is how to, which are the algorithms that we have to be choose, and which are the things that we are need to be changes, or how we can modify the algorithm. Right? So object detection is also one of the real life applications, and just I've just seen in the news, like in the Geneva in the Switzerland, they are just showing the this kind of the applications. Right? There is an exhibition. So AI, these kind of things, machine learning, and if you can see, then one of the best algorithm for this image processing is CNN. Okay, that is called as convolutional neural network. Okay? So people trying to be do a lot of the things continuously. They are trying to be do the research and trying to means up the accuracy, whatever the application they are building. Medical image processing. Definitely, if I can say, like there is a disease called as cancer, right? So everybody just means they're just shocked whenever they have to be listening to anybody. So like in the past times when we get to know, like, okay, we detected cancer, or what is the stage fourth stage. Nowadays, the image processing helps in they are just getting these kind of the diseases in the first stage or second stage. Then we have to do the chemotherapy, and we can save that particular patient. Or I can say this is the endless talk right? In the field of the, yeah, medical field, especially, and the automotive or the manufacturing industry. So these are the things from my side. Thank you so much, dear participants. Thank you. Over to you, Kalpesh sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me, can you please stop sharing the screen so that I can give the details about the upcoming webinars, and I'll share the feedback link also. After that, you can take up the question answer session.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope my screen is visible.
Uh,
Hello?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Yeah. So this is a detail of our upcoming webinars. On 22nd of July, that is next to next Saturday, we do have webinar on data mining by Professor Meghna Bhatt at 11 a.m. And after that, on 29th of July, we do have webinar on data analytics using R by Professor Vivek Gondalia at same time, that is 11 a.m. These are the courses offered by Faculty of Computer Applications, Marwadi University. We do have UG courses like BCA Honors with specialization of cloud computing and cybersecurity. We do have BSc IT. We have BSc Data Science, which is a specialized course for UG at Data Science. And we do have PG courses like MCA, MSc Cybersecurity and Cyber Law, specialization for Cybersecurity and Cyber Law, and MSc Data Science, specialization for Data Science. Please be in touch with our social media platforms. On Facebook, our page is at Marwadi MCA. On Instagram, we are available at Marwadi Education FCA. On LinkedIn, we are available at Marwadi FCA. And the recording of this session will be available on our YouTube channel called FCA Marwadi University. So thank you from my side. Vinod sir, you can take up the questions from
Yes, sir.
the
Yes, sir.
chat
Yeah.
window.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So Ambika Soni, she just asked the bins. Okay. So the video, Ambika ji, the video that I have just shown you, if you can just see the two things in this, the x-axis is basically just showing the intensity value, okay, and the y-axis is just showing you the pixel value. So bin is basically nothing, but it can represent a certain intensity range. So when I've just shown you a particular image, can I open that video, sir? We have a time, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, you can show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Ambika ji, see, this is the my image, right? So bin, whatever the histogram, I'm just going to be make it, okay? It is totally based on the pixel intensity levels, okay? So each bin represent a certain intensity range. So you can just see ki like at the darker side, only the intensity value is 4, and when my histogram is going up, where the intensity value is up, so bin is nothing but it can be represented a particular intensity range. Okay. I hope I have answered your question. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Okay, I'd like to thank somebody has written like src comma d size. Yeah, I've not seen that. Yeah, basically, yeah. Manika Nandan sir. Yeah, yeah. I think so. In the programming that we need to be like, sometimes we lost it or something, and we are not able to find it out. Right? Yeah. But I think so. Like whatever the funda that I want to give it to you, I hope you got that one. Right? Yeah. PIP. Yeah. PIP has been used for. In some of the things like somebody has written Jupyter notebook. Yeah. This is the thing that I have told you. like if you are a beginner, then you can just start it with this ideally first of all, and when you move to the Jupyter notebook or in the Google Colab, CV2 something will be not be there. There you have to be install the library matplotlib. So instead of this CV2 show, right? Instead of this, then you have to use the plp.imshow. Okay, so it should be a little bit different. Okay, in the ideally platform or in the Google Colab. Okay, so Google Colab and the Jupyter Notebook, basically we are using it for we have a large kind of data set, 10,000 images, and 10,000 images we have to be processed, and based on that we want to create a model, and we have to be check our accuracy, right? Yeah. Any other question? Yeah, please. I love to take any question. A last question. Okay. So, Kalpesh sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, there is a one request, sir. I think so she has asked a question. OpenCV, okay. OpenCV, Ambika ji, is a means a simple library. If you cannot install this particular library and directly you can using it with CV2 or something like that, then you will definitely get a one error, right? There is a no module called as CV2. So without this open CV, when you are not installing it, then you are not able to work it in the image processing. You are not able to read the file and then the later operations. Okay. There are other libraries are out there. That's why I've just told you in the beginning: OpenCV, Matplotlib, then NumPy, numerical Python when we are working with the arrays. Then we are using this pillow. There are multiple libraries out there. When I'm just talking about image processing, then we move to the machine learning, then deep learning, then lot of Keras and TensorFlow, these kind of the library. Because if you can see, Ambika, this is not the very short I can say it's a not a very it's a very broad topic, right? Image processing. The more that you can learn, it is very less only, right? Yeah. I hope I have answered your question. Yeah. Kalpesh sir, there is a one request, sir, from my side, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is possible everybody can open their camera and then we can take a one group photo, sir, from your
Sure,
camera,
sir.
sir.
I'll allow them to switch on their camera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the participants, please switch on your camera so that we can have a group photograph of the webinar. Please switch on your cameras fast so that we can have the group photo, and then we will wind up the seminar. Please. Sir, you can take up the screenshot, please.
Yes, sir.
You can take up the screenshot, please.
Okay.
And I'm requesting all the participants to please fill up the feedback form. And we'll send the certificates within 5 working days to all of you. So thank you, Vinod sir, for the informative session. And thank you all the participants for the present listening. Thank you. Vinod sir, can we wind up the session?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.